Are you having fun in your business? I mean, it should be fun, right? Well, sometimes the fun gets overlooked when you're dealing with the have-tos, the complexities of being your own boss and actually running the show. It's my goal that this, the Fun Business, Fun Money podcast, can help reignite your spark of fun by providing tips, tools, insights, and inspiration so you can enjoy running your business in the simplest, easiest, most fun way possible. I'll be sharing practical tips and ideas that you can implement immediately, along with business and money mindset insights to keep you moving forward no matter what's going on around you. I'm your host, Deirdre Amies, the Fun Business and Money Coach and founder of Powered by Personality. Let's play. Hey there, and welcome to the Fun Business, Fun Money podcast. If you're just listening for the first time ever, welcome. Hello. I am so glad that you're here. And if you've been listening for a while, welcome back. Thanks for tuning in. And of course, I love all of your lovely messages and emails that you've been sending me about this podcast. I appreciate you. Now, as you regular listeners will know, this podcast is a mix of quick tip, tool, or tactic episodes and longer coaching episodes. The shorter ones are intended to be a bite-sized insight that's hopefully 10 minutes or less about things that you can implement in your life or business immediately. Today is a slightly longer coaching episode where we go into a bit more detail on a particular topic. And today's topic is about creating consistent energy to achieve your goals and avoid burnout. Phew, long title, I know, but it's super important because without the right energy, those goals that you're setting are going to seem further and further away. And before you know it, you're overwhelmed and burnt out trying to do all the things. So if you can't tell already, this is something I'm really passionate about, and I could probably talk all day long about it. So I've had to rein myself in when I was writing my notes to make sure that we keep this concise and to 30 minutes or less. So hands up if you've experienced burnout, whether it's in your personal life, your career, or your business. Both of my hands are up, because I know firsthand what it's like, and unfortunately, it's been on more than one occasion. So at the end of 2015, I was physically and mentally exhausted. We had next to no money, and I was burnt out from trying to grow a business without really knowing what I was doing. I fully admit that. And I also didn't have the safety net of a job at the time. So in early 2016, I ended up going back into a corporate job, doing something that I instantly knew was perfect for who I used to be, but completely out of alignment with who I had become. But I also knew that it was creating the financial stability that my family needed so that I could bring my energy back and put it into my business. Now, I still experienced burnout in that job as well. I was under immense pressure in my job and nothing I did felt right. So when the opportunity for redundancy came up in mid-2019, I took it. And I then spent about 4 months decompressing just from the stress that had built up. It doesn't dissipate immediately as soon as you remove the cause. I implemented every self-care strategy that I had, but it still took far longer than I'd anticipated to start feeling like myself, like the real me again. Now, my point in sharing this is to remind you that we're all human. We like to think that we can do it all and everything will be great, but I can't put enough emphasis on daily self-care, whatever that means to you. That should be a non-negotiable. And if you've known me for a while, you'll be familiar with me asking, what are you doing to relax and recharge after you've achieved a goal? And that's because I know from experience what can happen if you don't pay attention to your energy cycles. And of course, this is also influenced by your personality traits. And if you've listened to the previous episodes, you'll know that my thing is your money personality or money archetypes. If you don't know your money archetypes, go take my handy dandy online quiz and find out. You'll find the link to the quiz in the description of each of these episodes and also in the show notes. So, the ruler money archetype is the goal achiever. They're driven to achieve. They'll push themselves and the people around them to keep going no matter what, because you haven't got time for a break. But that's also putting you closer to breaking point than some of the other archetypes. And it can feel like you're on that cliche entrepreneur's roller coaster. So I want to remind those of you who are rulers, or maybe you've got ruler in your top 3 archetypes like I do. Look for the grace and ease in your life and business. You need some kind of balance between being on and chasing your dreams and switching off to take care of yourself. Now, that's not the only archetype that will push themselves. Nurturers will also push themselves to breaking point, but in a different way. You can tend to give and give and give, overlooking your own needs, and then feeling frustrated or resentful that you're exhausted and possibly broke because you've given everything away for free out of the kindness of your heart. So nurturers, it's 100% okay to put your own needs first, including your time, energy, and money. So I've got 5 tips to share that will help you create more consistency with your energy, regardless of your archetypes. So let's get into them, shall we? Tip number 1 is to recognize that you need a break from the grind. We are not built to run a marathon 24/7. We're built for short bursts and then periods of recovery. Our energy cycles will be different for everyone, as I've already sort of hinted at there. Although breaking it right down, most women tend to run on a 3 to 4 week cycle because of hormones. I'm not sure what the main influence is for men, but you also have an energy cycle, which, I don't know, it could be 4 to 6 weeks. It could be 3 months, depending on your lifestyle. Outside of that, we can push through for a few months, maybe even just a few weeks, but then we need to take a full break from activity to truly reset and refocus. So for the ladies, menopause and all that fun stuff that leads up to it over several years, that can play havoc with your energy cycles. And then when you throw in the moon, Mercury retrograde, all of those, probably solar flares, and just watching the news, all of that can wreak havoc on your energy. So it's really important to build in a break every week, every day preferably, so that you're giving yourself a better chance of lasting the distance. You can run that marathon if you give yourself those little breaks. And learn what your energy cycle is so that you're making sure you're taking the steps to manage it. Know thyself and all of that. Tip number 2 is to release the guilt. So what if you're not where you thought you would be yet? We all have goals and this image in our minds of what success looks like. And when we don't hit it when we said we would, that can open the door for guilt and shame to creep in. Slam that door shut, because guilt and shame are low energy emotions that have no place in what you're wanting to create. You're not a failure if you take a pause to reset yourself. Whether that pause is an hour, a day, a weekend, whatever you need to get back on track and help maintain your energy for the long haul. You can't help anyone if you're burnt out. Stress and guilt will eat away your creativity like nobody's business. The creative part of our brains literally shuts down in times of stress so that we can't think of anything new. We're in survival mode. And that's not a great place to try and grow a successful business from. You need your creativity. Tip number 3 is self-care, STAT. I always love saying stat, I feel like a doctor. What self-care strategies do you have or enjoy? What gives you energy? What have you let slide in the past couple of years while the world has been turned upside down? Bring that stuff back because it's going to do you the world of good. It could be meditation or mindfulness, essential oils, exercise, go for a walk or a run, do yoga. I love yoga. Pilates, you can lift weights. I love swimming. Move your body in some way for a period of time through the day. And then, of course, there's all the natural therapies like massage, Reiki, hypnotherapy, whatever it takes. I'm sure there's a ton of self-care strategies that you already know about. There's no one magic thing that's right for everyone. So I don't want to dwell too much on the details of all of them. You just have to try things and see what feels great for you. So that's the first 3 tips. Let me just recap. Number 1 was to recognize that you need a break from the grind. Number 2 is to release the guilt. 3, self-care, STAT. Number 4 is to simplify. Nice and simple, one word. It became a focus for me after having coaches and mentors overload me with tactics and funnels and strategies that just weren't a fit for my personality or my style. And I hate seeing it happen to anyone else. So let's not be overcomplicating things, shall we? There's 2 parts to this concept of simplify. What do you have to do? And what do you want to do? Let's look at what do you have to do. There are different levels of service or value that you can give in your business depending on your energy levels. And of course, the ideal situation is to be consistent with whatever you're doing all of the time, right? But as I've said, we're all human. We all experience life, and it's not always possible. So I've heard this referred to as the minimum effective dose. What's the minimum that you have to do in terms of showing up, being visible, giving value, and serving your clients or customers? This is what becomes your benchmark, and you can put strategies in place to make sure that those things keep ticking over. The second part of this is, what do you want to do? You can strip your entire business back to basics. You can ditch the clutter and all of the BS that you've added over time, the stuff that drags your attention away from the things that you actually enjoy and the things that make you money. Let's not forget about that. Get your spring cleaning game on and take a serious look at what's eating up your energy for little to no return. Because I can guarantee if I sat down with you and went through all the things that you're doing right now, we could pare it down by at least 25%, if not more. You have to create the space for the things that you want. I would love to hear what you're going to stop doing in your business that's distracting you from those things you enjoy, those fun things, and the things that make you money. Send me a DM at Fun Business Fun Money on both Instagram or Facebook. I want to hear, what are you going to stop doing because it's a distraction? And tip number 5, lucky last but not least by a long shot, is to set up your calendar for success. Now, this is another topic that we will go into in greater detail in another episode because, once again, it's something I believe very strongly in. I could honestly do a full day workshop just helping you get your calendar set up for success. Make sure you're building in self-care and time off along with your content, your client sessions, whatever it is that you actually do for work. Book in family time, exercise, and you can even go as far as booking in the time where you're making dinner if that's one of the things that you love to do or have to do. My schedule is set up for work in the morning, fun in the afternoon, as a broad concept. One of my values is freedom. In fact, that's my word for 2023, to create more freedom in all areas. That means that I focus on work and clients in the mornings when my brain is fresh and I'm full of energy. Exercise is not something that energizes me, so I tend to save that for later in the day. So just like you plan your content, you need to plan and build in self-care and time off. Get a blank weekly calendar. You can Google it, download it, and print it. And then start mapping out what you want your ideal week to look like. So one of my favorite things is helping people transform their business through simplicity. And all of these 5 tips tie into simplicity, because it's possible that you're doing things that you just don't need to be doing. Or maybe you need to be doing more of it, like self-care and exercise. Whatever those distractions are, they take your energy and focus away from what's actually important in your business. One of which is making actual money so that you can pay your bills. I will always be an advocate for people leading themselves, which includes self-care and avoiding burnout. If you'd like my help with that, grab one of my Spark sessions. It's a 60-minute private Zoom call where we focus on the thing that you need right now to help you move forward in the simplest, easiest way possible. Send me a DM about booking your Spark session or head on over to my website, deirdreamies.com/spark for more details. So that's what I've got for you today. I hope this resonates with you and helps to inspire some things that you can implement to save your sanity and create more consistent energy. Put yourself first with your self-care and energy needs, and you'll never need to worry about being burnt out. Thank you so much for joining me today. As always, take care, have maximum fun in everything you do, and I'll catch you in the next episode. Thanks for joining me. If you found this episode useful, make sure you hit that follow button on your chosen podcast platform so you get the notifications when each new episode goes live and you don't miss anything. If you know someone who would also get something from it, don't be shy, share it with them. One of the best things about being a business coach for online entrepreneurs is helping them make sense of their creative ideas and turn them into a simple, clear business system that actually makes money. A client recently described me as a castle building expert. You've got the big vision and some of the building materials already, but you don't quite know how to bring it all together into a solid foundation. Then I come along and I show you the blueprint that makes sense of it all. I love that analogy. And I'd love to show you your personalized blueprint, the one that's just right for you and your clients. But I can't do that until you join Ignite, my business and money coaching program. So head on over to deirdreamies.com/ignite for all the details. Fill out the application form and let's talk about building your castle in the simplest, easiest way possible.